What is up, everybody? Welcome back, Third and Teal. Isaiah, your host, Duval's finest on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, other places. Um, I'm gonna work on that intro. I swear, I'm settled in now. Yeah, as you can see, I got a couple boxes, but they're mostly unpacked, so we're getting settled in. I'm gonna get that figured out here soon.
I was saying,
Um,
I was going to ask you, did you cut it
yeah,
short?
no, it like fades out at the last second, but the way
Oh,
like
okay.
it stops at a bad part of the song, so that's
Ah,
kind of the problem. But no, we're good. You know, I'm gonna get it done. I promise. It'll hopefully soon. Anyways, welcome it as
oh,
always up top of this way. We got Trevor. What's up, Trevor? How you doing?
What's good, man? Don't mind my looking down, guys. I am on the hunt for a Paw Paws listening jersey. If you have one,
hit him up. Hit him up.
let me know in the
Hit him
comments.
up.
I'll find you.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
pay you money. I'll take it for free. So choose wisely.
Help you
but
eat a wiener because you know what I just found? I
I,
found exactly what you just said you'd want, and
what Bortles salute to service or not salute
well,
to
not
service?
so much, not so much a Bortles, but I found
Oh,
something that I am way more interested in the.
Oh,
oh, the legend jerseys. Oh no, the actual. Yeah, there you go. Hey, bro, just go on that Chinese website, whatever it's called, and get whatever you want.
This is on shopthejaguars.com. Thank you.
Oh, interesting. With that out of the way, and back on track here, Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hey, speaking of that, 8 days for training camp. Hey, it's about to get real, people. It's about to get real. And y'all know what? Y'all need to hit us up in the comments, man. We want to know what y'all thinking. You
Yeah,
know, talk to us. Talk to us. Let us know. I mean, you may end up on one of our favorite segments, and I ain't gonna say we apologize, but hey, just hit us up anyway. We like to know what you're thinking out there.
Go
About
for it.
yeah. Come on the
yeah,
show.
yeah,
Come
let's
hang
do
out,
this.
or don't,
Exactly.
but do. Let us know what
There
you're
you
thinking. Yeah,
go. Yeah, but yeah, I'm doing good, man. It's been a
hell
good
yeah.
week. Been a good week.
That is good to hear. It's been a weird week for me. Not really going to go into too much detail. We had a trainee pass away in the middle of like she just stopped showing up. We found out. So prayers to the family.
Mm,
And just kind of a weird week. Haven't had that happen before, so that was the first. Um, but just moving along, kicking along. We're just getting it done. I'm really excited for the season. We got some good news coming out. Josh Allen had some. He's been talking about his change. We got the new name, Josh Hines Allen.
yes,
Um,
and the
so a big
285.
285. I mean, I haven't
280.
found the clip where he says that, but I know he said it, and that's kind of crazy. Is like
It's in the video.
280.
It's in the
Yeah,
video. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, like that part, because I've been kind of catching it at weird times and I couldn't watch the whole thing. But yeah,
Mhm.
285. That is crazy because he doesn't look like he looks bigger
Right.
than he did last year, but he doesn't look like
He doesn't
he's
look
285.
285.
Yeah,
Yeah, because when he said it, Cam Jordan looked at him and he started looking at I was like, yeah, he doesn't look 285, but he
yeah,
said he's at 285. I said,
285.
my gosh.
Well, we know like
That's
Trayvon
crazy.
Walker is 275. He looks at he's just huge. So I mean, that's gonna be crazy seeing Josh that big. It's gonna be a big tell that um, we're going to be running them off the edge a lot. Them boys are going to be going after people. It's definitely going to be a different look than previous years. I'm sure they're still going to drop back into coverage, but instead of being like 15, 20 plays a game, it's probably only going to be like 2 to 5 plays a game, maybe 10, if depending on who we're playing. We're going
Mhm.
to be bringing a lot of pressure. I think Devin Lloyd's up to like 250, 256 or something, or somewhere around there. Chad Muma looks a little bit bigger too. Devon Hamilton's back, Mason Smith, and we got Jordan Jefferson in the middle, Eric Armstead. Like, these guys, these cats are looking big, and it's definitely going to be a lot more of an aggressive defense than we've seen in previous years. So that is kind of something. Is we've just kind of honestly been slowing down. It seemed like not slowing down, but like we got so big, we got so hyped in the 2019 or I'm sorry 2017 when we had Saxonville.
Mhm.
Even though we didn't technically have the biggest line, we still had Dante Fowler and Yannick Ngakwe that were coming off the edge screaming opposite Calais Campbell.
Right.
We had Marcel Darius and
Mhm.
Oh shit, what was his name? The other guy.
Yeah, Malik Jackson too, didn't we?
Malik Jackson. Yeah, Malik Jackson.
I
We
have
had
to interrupt this. I'm sorry. This idiot.
Yep.
This is going on Miss Me with that bullshit, and it's happening right fucking now.
Uh-oh. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Get it.
I told you guys that I was looking for jerseys, okay? I feel that I found the holy grail of just a set of jerseys. A person wants $70. They have a few selective jerseys. They're all retired players, but as you can see, I don't mind. Okay? I want the Bortles and the MJD. They have 3 Maurice Jones-Drew jerseys and a Bortles jersey. This bitch didn't know what MJD meant. She thought I was talking about Minshew. I said, bitch, you should have to give them to me for free now.
Oh. I mean, that kind of leaves you speechless. What are you doing with the jerseys there? If you I'm gonna say it for you, lady. Miss me with that bullshit.
Yeah, stop being. You're not a fan.
No.
Those are definitely like her husband's or her son's or something. She's just trying to get rid of them, trying to make space in the closet. That's 100% what that was. All right. Any other bullshit to be messed with before I switch it back to normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more thing. Mayor, you're coming on here next week, and you're probably not seeing this. But your quarterback comments earlier.
Huh?
You were completely out of touch with anything related to football, my boy.
Oh, you're
What?
cutting out Eric. He said Mayor, not Eric.
Oh, Mayor.
But
what?
It sounded like you were saying something whenever Trevor started, but you were like cutting in and out. We couldn't hear you. Maybe
okay.
still.
Can you hear me now?
I can. No, you're fine. It's Eric that's cutting in and out.
Oh, okay. What about to say? I will.
But yes, miss with bullshit. Yes.
Yeah, Mayor, you'll be here next week.
Yeah.
You'll be here next week. We're gonna get you. But since the banner's already up, take them bullshit ass quarterback comments and miss us with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This person.
That's a good one.
I feel like I'm safe to.
Well.
All right. Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah. Let's see. We good now?
Yeah, I think we're good. As I was saying though, this is definitely the biggest this D line has felt since 2017. Honestly, I mean, it's definitely one of those things too. Which what I'm happy about too is it's not like 2017 where we've got Darius, Jackson, Campbell on waning contracts or anything too. I know we had Campbell, I think, signed for 3 years. That was like his first year on the team, I believe. Josh was still young, but like now we have an extra bunch of years for Josh. We got Trayvon Walker with still 2 years left with potential 5th-year option. We have Devin Lloyd also with 2 years going into his they're both going into the 3rd year. They both have the 5th-year option available.
Right.
Jordan Jefferson and Mason Smith are both rookies. We got at least 4 years for them. We got Devon Hamilton. We got 1 more year on his deal. Is this his last year of his deal, or did he get an extension and it's next year's his last year?
Who again?
Talking about.
I think this year's his last year. I don't think we extended
Devon
him
Hamilton.
We wanted to make sure he'd be able to make a full recovery.
Well, no, we extended him.
Yeah, he did get an extension.
We extended him, I think, going into his last season for 3 years. I think we have him for 1 more year.
Yeah.
No, I knew about the 3. I thought you were talking about.
No, I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about like extended him again. I was like,
no. I'm just saying. I'm just his extension. I don't remember when his extension is up. Is what I'm saying.
I got you.
I don't know if it's this year or next year. Anyways, But yeah, so we got Devon Hamilton. He's back, they say. We've got, I mean, still Roy Robertson Harris. I mean, he has his moments. I think he's going to thrive in a more rotational role. I think he's going to take less reps this year. Like, if you think about it, though, if we've got, I'm sure we have a package where we do this. I'm sure we do.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Armstead and Roy Robertson Harrison in the middle. What? Roy Robertson Harris is like 6'7", 6'8". Eric Armstead's like 6'5", 6'6". We got Josh Allen, who's 6'5". We got Trayvon Walker, who's 6'5". Like, it's going to be hard to throw over that if they start jumping and putting their hands up when you're throwing.
Yeah, they're getting those big ass paws up there, son.
Oh, yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. We've got. Oh shit. Okay, no, we re-signed him early, so we have a potential out after 25, so after next season, but we still have him signed through 26 actually.
Okay.
Nice.
So 2027 he becomes an unrestricted free agent.
So
But
that's
we haven't.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So we still have him for a couple years. That's nice. That's probably why they weren't so worried about like doing anything with him, because we have him for so long and everything. But yeah, no, I mean, again, we got bigger, we got faster. I think we got stronger. This is the first time I'm feeling like, okay, this could be a year where we could just absolutely destroy other teams on the line.
Yeah.
It
gives you that feeling that we won't get pushed around for a change.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. So we're not going to be getting pushed up the middle for 150 yards a game like we were.
Exactly.
So that's definitely something to look forward to. I think that, the Hines Allen thing, I do want to say, like, that's awesome for him that he's doing that for his family. I know his sister wears Hines Allen. And so that's awesome that he's going to be able to share that moment with her and share that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for the season, man. It's awesome he's doing it the right way as well. He is going to be holding a jersey swap event. That's the week 3, the week of the Bills, right? They're doing that. I believe it's going to be week 3. You can bring your Josh Allen jersey and they will swap it out, or at least put in an order for you if they don't have what you have. So that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it's coming together, man. There's some changes, and I think there's some good changes. Josh Allen, 285. Josh Hines Allen, sorry. Josh Hines
Allen, that's right.
285.
Man.
I know.
It's coming at you.
It's just weird to say. Like, every time I say it, it's like,
wow. Yeah.
I mean, he ran like what, a 4.5 coming out of college, 4.6. I mean, he's not slow.
No, he's not slow, and that's the crazy part. He's pushing 300 pounds.
Yeah, if he didn't lose that speed, then we're gonna be having a good time out there.
I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure if anything, he probably got faster.
I'm sure he did it. Sure he did it right. I mean, it's that's just kind of crazy.
Because when you see him, he looks slim. You're like, you wouldn't even think he's anywhere close to 285.
That's what surprised me when I saw the video.
Yeah, because he's sitting there talking to Cam Jordan, and you're like, okay. And then he started smiling. He said, "Yeah, man, 285. I'm at the 285." And that's why I had to send it to you. I'm like, oh my god, 285.
Why the fuck is it so hard to find a fucking 40 time?
So you're like, okay.
And another thing that's crazy too is that we've been talking about. You just said like it's the first year we feel like we can go and dominate the line. I feel like we're being so disrespected.
Of course,
nationally, like it's normal. I'm used to it. I expect it, but I'm still upset because how is it we've got some of the most elite players in their positions, and we're still not even we're not getting respect for it. We're not. And how is it that the Texans get respect for the best wide receiver room in the league?
4.63.
4.63. Yeah, everything keeps on pulling up fucking fat.
Yeah, that other one.
Yeah, that white ass motherfucker up there.
Yeah,
and
that stupid back bitch in Buffalo. Fuck it.
Yeah, he ran a 4.63.
Okay. Yeah, he's faster than him too. Not only is he a better football player, he's also faster. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 285 and he's faster too. Josh Allen up north. You watch. Check over your shoulder. I bet he does, bro. I bet every time he sees Jacksonville on the schedule, he's like, "Fuck, not again."
Not this guy.
I know, right? Hey,
It is gonna be kind of weird to not hear like and on the play, Josh Allen sacks Josh Allen. Like it's gonna be Josh Hines Allen. Like, but it's fine.
Hines Allen. No.
That's it right there, Trevor.
Yep.
That's it right there.
Yep.
That's it right there.
Weighing in at 285 pounds, Josh Hines Allen.
Yeah. The world heavyweight champ. No.
Yeah. The edge rushing heavyweight champion of the world.
The world heavyweight champion.
Oh, Lord.
Josh Hines Allen.
But yeah, so yeah, got training camp coming up. 8 days, right, Eric?
8 days.
8 days.
I am counting down. 8 days, baby.
And I will see some of y'all Friday the 26th. And if you know, you know.
Yeah. I might see some of y'all Friday the 26th.
That would be much preferred.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. Yeah, you guys can see my ugly face out in public. It'd be nice.
Yeah, y'all. So y'all look for the Third and Teal crew. They'll be there. Unfortunately,
I will be at a lot of games. So we will definitely be seeing that. Randy might be buying some tickets from me for he might buy my Packers second ticket. I might actually go to that game. I don't know yet. May have some tickets for sale. Third and Teal fans. So let me. We'll have that on the lookout.
He might. I won't. I'll see you there.
Yeah, he'll see you there. It's a long drive for me, and if I can make $500 off of one game, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely all the rivalry games. I'll be there though. So, with that though, what else we got on the agenda?
I want to talk about. Eric made a point about it, but it got me to thinking. With training camp coming up and stuff, we mentioned this a few weeks ago, or actually, it's got to be a month now, where there was still one more big contract in the works right now, and we haven't touched on it in a while. And then I saw a report come out yesterday. It's pretty unofficially, but officially confirmed to be Tyson Campbell. We made that assumption the other day when we were talking about it. But honestly, one thing I'd like to know is obviously we're closing in on the start of the regular season, but they've been working on this for a month and a half or better now. You guys look to see this done before the season. Maybe not before preseason, but before the regular season start.
The way Balky has been working lately, you would have to say yes. Because it seems as though there's a emphasis on getting the core group together, signed for a longer period of time, so they can stay together. Now, as far as the type of contract, I think it would be one of those incentive laden ones, prove it to me type of thing. Because I mean, Tyson has shown flashes. And he can do it, but he's been injured. He's had a lot of injuries also, which, puts a little bit in question is his durability. But with our recent additions in the secondary, he may be on that block. So I think they'll get it done. I was thinking though, it's going to be either him. I know you said you heard, unofficially, but I think they're looking at Cisco also.
I know they're looking at Cisco. It's just whether it be within the next year or the next off season.
Right.
It'll be. I think if they're signing Cisco, it's going to be next, after this season. Mainly because I think that they still do not know if he can stay on the field enough. He's a great player when he's on the field, and he is a tax collector over the middle. You don't pass go. It's one of those things where he's great, but we got to make sure he can stay on the field long term because that's been his biggest weakness.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I feel the same way about Tyson Campbell.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if it's me, don't get me wrong. I love Tyson, but I'm not paying Tyson right now.
I think that part of the reason they may be doing that too is the cornerback market is going to be. You got to think about something too. Sauce Gardner is officially eligible for a contract after this year extension because it'll be his third season. You have a couple of guys that are on their fourth year of their deal that are pretty solid, I think, coming up this year. I think that they're going to try and be proactive with Tyson's contract because at quarterback, it's a little bit different. You can be reactive because in a couple of years, it's going to be nothing anyways. With cornerback, I mean, these other guys get signed. You have Sauce Gardner get a market-breaking deal. You got Tyson Campbell going to be over here like, hey, guys, that's the kind of money I want. We know he's not – he might not be worth the same money. He might be worth more after he plays this year. We got to kind of see. I'm sure that this, the strength and conditioning coach was with him all season or all off season. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think that they're going to try and get this one done as early as possible. That way they can make sure that we are getting him at a good price and with a good out without us having to completely break the bank on him, because I don't think he's that type of player. The safety market, it's been honestly, the safety market's terrible in terms of like money. I don't know that I've ever seen safeties really don't break the bank. I think they feel a lot more comfortable because safeties rotate. I feel like safety rotates more than any other position besides like running back. Like I feel like defense, like safety is the running back of the defense where they just kind of draft a new guy. And unless you're like Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, one of those guys, you don't really get a second deal, at least not a big one.
Yeah. The only one recently, what, Jamal Adams?
He got that stupid big deal, then got traded immediately after because they realized
exactly. Yeah. So,
which he's on the Titans now.
I know. I mean, that don't interfere.
That's a free touchdown every time we throw the ball in his direction.
Yeah, that doesn't put any fear in your heart like it used to. So, okay.
He used to be a problem, but you're right about the safety thing. Is because 99% of the time, the only intangibles that they really like are the only like God-given like birthright gifts that they have to have is speed and a set of eyeballs.
Yeah,
the rest can be taught.
Exactly. I mean, you don't have the ones with the natural talent, the Ed Reeves, the guy down in Washington, that passed away.
Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor. That was just natural. They deserve because they were beasts. But the market today, it's not there. It's really not.
Well, yeah, of course it's not. And then you get because like there's no Cam Chancellors in the league.
Right.
There's not. The closest thing we had was Jordan Poyer when he was playing good a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, he was not even close. Not even close.
I would say that Poyer is more of a Thomas.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think Poyer's never been known to like lay the wood on anybody. He's a smaller guy. But no, you're definitely right. There are no Cam Chancellors.
There's no Cam Chancellors. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about his hit power. You're not going to match.
I know what you mean, but
yeah, just like because Cam Chancellor would lock you the fuck down too. It wasn't just he would lay the boomstick on you. He would lock you down. He would make a receiver no longer in the game. Okay, like, and we don't have shit like that. We don't have Troy Polamalu's anymore. These type of talents at the safety position just aren't there anymore. Really, they're not. Like, I mean, the best you can hope for is to have a really good corner that can switch back and forth. But even then, he's getting paid on the cornerback market, not the safety.
Correct.
So top safety contracts. 4 years, $76 million. Derwin James, $19 million a season. Minka, $18.2 a season. Jamal Adams.
Are good.
This is last year's. This is 2023 rankings. Jesse Bates, $16 million. Harrison Smith, $16 million. Justin Simmons, $15 million. Eddie Jackson, $14 million. Buddha, $14 million. Marcus Williams, $14 million. Quandre Diggs, $13 million. That's top 10.
Well, crazy.
Corners.
Most of those guys you just listed, most of those guys
are no longer on the team.
Are no longer on their teams, but were only known by their team's fans.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Like we know their names because we actually watched the game. But if it wasn't for that, dude, you don't know who that guy is.
Yep.
I mean, everybody knows the top two, obviously, and Derwin James. Derwin James is a dog, but he is no ET and he is no Cam Chancellor. He's no Troy Polamalu. He's no Ed Reed. And he honestly fell off too.
Right. Exactly.
He's taking a big step back.
Keeps getting hurt.
Yeah,
those injuries. Yeah.
And then after him, you mentioned Minka. Minka's a dog. Minka will get paid again.
Oh, yeah.
Minka will definitely get paid again, but he's not. He is no Earl Thomas. He's no Cam Chancellor. He's no Ed Reed. No Palomalu. He is nothing even close. Nothing close. And Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith was part of the no-fly zone in Minnesota. He was really good until he wasn't. Like it just. That's
a nice way of putting it. Yeah.
And that never happened to Ed Reed. That never happened to Earl Thomas, and that didn't happen to Cam Chancellor.
You're right. You're right. So, we'll see.
So corners, we got Jair Alexander, 21 mil, Denzel Ward, 20 mil, Dolphins, Jalen Ramsey, 20 mil, Marlon Humphrey, 19.5, Marshawn Lattimore, 19.4, Trayvon Diggs, 19.4, Xavier Howard, 18 mil, Tre'Davious White, 17.3, J.C. Jackson, 16.5, Buccaneers, Carl Davis, 14.8. So, yeah, I'm thinking that might be part of it. One injury concerns with Cisco
as a flexible corner. That's the way the league's shifting now. Is you're going to put all your money into a well-rounded, versatile corner instead of a die-hard safety.
Well, I think we see the best football we've seen out of Tyson Campbell. Like, not to say we're not going to out of Cisco and every other DB, but I think that this defense is a lot closer to what he played at Georgia, and I think that he is going to absolutely thrive in this system. And I mean, he played well in our previous systems and everything, and he's played well in this one when he's not hurt. But I mean, I think we're going to see him absolutely dominate this year in terms of playing against other players. We do face a lot of tough competition. We also face a lot of not so tough competition, like $90 million receivers that didn't deserve that money that went to other rival teams.
Twice a year.
So it's just one of those things where I don't feel like, I don't feel like we need to worry about guys who drop more balls than a gender transition surgeon. It's just one of those things.
Look, can you imagine Cisco seeing really coming this way, trying to go out for a pass and just trying to be? He was scared of
he was scared of freaking Shaq Griffin last year, bro. I mean, I guarantee you, if Cisco is within 10 feet of Calvin Ridley, he's dropping every football that comes to him.
And because he knows better. First of all, that's one thing that will benefit us about him going to anyone but us is he does know that motherfucking tax man's coming. Uncle Sam's sitting right over the middle.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking a chunk out of that ass, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, tax collector does not. You can't lose the tax collector.
And let's talk about Antonio Johnson too, because let's not forget, because Antonio Johnson will lay the wood also.
I am excited for him to be in the safety role. You heard me right, safety role, strong safety, and it's crazy too because Cisco is big. Like Cisco is as big, if not bigger, than a strong safety should be, but he's as fast, if not faster, than a free safety. Like that's the crazy part. He is so athletic. He's rangy. He will hit you no matter where you catch the football. He's one of the best cover ground,
But isn't that what you want? That's what you want in a safety, though. That is
absolutely.
Exactly
I'm just saying it frees up. It frees up our boy to get a little hit stick crazy,
right?
Because we know that Cisco can catch somebody. So we got our boy coming in first year starting strong safety. He doesn't have to worry about the back end as much as he can, though. He can drop into coverage. He's not the fastest guy, but he has really good leverage. He has really good angles.
That's one thing to talk about, too. We know that the plan long-term is Antonio Johnson at strong safety. Now, what I would be interested to see, though, is who we have out there week one. Okay? And the only reason I say that, I know that they said, like I said, the plan is Antonio Johnson. And not that I expect anyone to outplay him, but just because Darnell Savage is natural there, I would wonder if they wouldn't want him to see a veteran take a few snaps in a new system versus real life snaps, real life competitors. Like, not that will happen. It's honestly probably I would think there's a 75% chance he's out there snap number one, and maybe like a 25% chance that maybe Savage is out there. And it wouldn't be the whole game. And it wouldn't be like even, I don't even think it'd be the whole drive.
You know what? That'd be something to pay attention to during preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying.
Definitely to pay attention to during preseason.
But you also think about it too in preseason. It's hard to also get that answer from preseason. Hold on 1 second. My dog is being a moron. Hold on.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah,
I think with that though, there's kind of two questions you have to ask yourself, and I think that we'll answer that question. One, we have to first figure out the answer to the question of how good is Jarian Jones, and will he be starting our starting slot day one?
Yeah.
But hold on.
Okay. All right.
Or will he take more reps outside to help them rotate if Prince doesn't pan out?
Now, you have a very good point there because Prince is kind of a roll of the dice.
I think that because I think they brought in Jarian Jones because he can play both.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I think he is their contingency plan at outside corner if Prince cannot step up and play that role in a rotational player situation because they know there's a chance that Darby won't finish the season. We all know that. There's no question on anybody thinking Darby will absolutely finish the season. There's nobody saying that. Everybody knows there's a chance.
Right.
So if Jarian Jones comes in, kills it. DeAndre Prince comes in, kills it. We still have Monteric Johnson on the roster, old Buster Brown, or Monteric Johnson, good lord. Monteric Brown, Buster Brown. We still have him on the roster. We have a couple other guys that can maybe get a couple snaps in there, but if DeAndre Prince comes in and kills it, Jarian Jones comes in and kills it, we're going to see Savage more at safety than we're going to see him at nickel. I still don't think he will play more reps. I still think Johnson gets at least 70% of snaps. If it'd be like 60-40 at the most, I think Savage would be 40% of snaps at the position of safety.
Okay, so you're talking about the hypothetical of like when Darnell switches in as the rotation for Antonio, where do we put Jarian?
No. What I'm saying is Jarian Jones will 100% dictate how many snaps Darnell Savage takes between safety and corner and slot. Because if Jarian Jones is not playing well, Darnell Savage is going to take more reps at slot, and we might almost never see him at safety. If DeAndre Prince doesn't work out, we've got to work Jarian Jones outside more.
Yeah, we got to get him prepped to be our new outside.
So there's two different options there. There's either Jarian Jones isn't playing up to what we think he can and Savage has to play more at slot, or Jarian Jones is playing well and Prince isn't, and we've got to rotate him outside more and Savage is down. But if Jarian Jones blows up and DeAndre Prince blows up, they're not paying Savage all that money to sit around. They're going to work him in more at safety.
He's going to play.
So what I'm saying is the two rookies are going to dictate how many reps he gets, whether it be slot or safety. And if two rookies are playing great or one of the two isn't playing as well, dude, Johnson's going to take 95% of snaps.
Where do you think then day one Darby's at? Because we know that it's a possibility he doesn't finish, but he's still more than likely he's going to be there day one.
No, absolutely. He's the day one starter. He's the day one second corner.
That's what I was about to say. So we're talking – well, then at that point, the question would be, so it really just comes down to whether Darby finishes the season.
Yes.
And how well Jarian performs. Now, to be completely honest with you, I have no ifs, ands, or buts, no doubts about Jarian Jones.
I foresee him moving outside probably halfway through the season. I really do.
I don't honestly, even if it even takes that long. Or the only reason I think we might consider keeping him in the slot is because now teams hurt you from the slot 9 out of 10 times more than they do from the outside. The NFL is not the way it was anymore. You got your primary threat 9 out of 10 times. He's playing that slot receiver. I mean, there is still the outside receivers. That's still your traditional one, But at the end of the day, when they do their most damage is in a package where they get slid to a slot. That's when they do the most damage. They get a mismatch off the linebacker and they start cooking.
Right.
Jarian, that's honestly, I think it would as it always does. Obviously, it depends on who we're playing and what packages they run. But I will say, I see Jarian moving to outside, but I mean, this is a hot take for everybody, but I think it would be because he surpasses Tyson Campbell. I don't think it would be solely because DeAndre Prince isn't doing what we think. Not so much that I think Campbell will not have his place. That's not what I'm saying. But I do believe that Jarian Jones has all the potential to become our corner number one and become that guy that's going head to head with the star of whatever team we're playing that week.
That's a good point.
I mean, that man literally didn't give up a single touchdown in 2 fucking years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anyone's personal opinion of him may be. It doesn't matter what scheme he may be playing in. That takes fucking serious skill.
Okay.
Serious skill. You didn't give one up. Not one. For 2 full years. Not one. Not
and
one.
He wasn't playing against a lot of patsies either. So
no, he wasn't playing a whole bunch of pack teams either. Now, he wasn't always playing the hardest teams in college football,
right.
But he wasn't playing no fucking pushovers all the time either.
Right. Exactly.
He had a good fair shake throughout this entire stretch we're talking about, and he had not one slip. Not one. That is fucking impressive. And that tells you that his dedication and study of the game is damn near unmatched. Because that means that he showed up prepared and ready each and every week that he touched the field.
Okay, here's my scenario. Tyson on one outside, Jones on the other corner, and then of course you bring Savage down to the slot, and then you put Antonio and Cisco in the backside.
Yeah, where do you see Darby then? Where do you see Darby week one? Because you know Darby's going to get some snaps week one.
I think Darby would be that rotational piece. I know I hate to say we brought him in and paying him that money, but I think eventually that's more that veteran that's there just in case somebody get hurt, and he may actually get hurt. Like I said, I think as of right now, looking at the scheme, he's going to start opposite of Tyson Campbell. He's going to start opposite Tyson Campbell. Now, as far as the season goes, depending on how he's performing against, the other receivers out there, I can see where he could be behind, Jarvis Jones. I think I agree with y'all. Jarvis Jones was brought in to be a starting outside corner eventually.
It's just which outside corner is he going to be?
Right, exactly.
And at this point, I think he starts in the slot to get his feet wet.
Mm-hmm.
I do, because that's where he's comfortable. I think he starts in the slot to get his feet wet, and then he's just going to fucking blow up.
And then you think about it, if they're going to go ahead and re-sign Tyson, to this contract, then they're saying, okay, we got confidence in you. So with these new guys coming up, these are our contingency plans.
Yep.
Now, problem is Prince, as you said, Prince. Where are we going to put Prince? So
week one, I don't think he's on the field.
But you know what? That is a great problem to have, though.
It is.
When you really think about it, that is a great problem to have.
It's not one that we're used to.
I know, right? I know. So, I mean, if everything works out as it drawn on drawing board, hey, that's needed back there. That's even better. And then you can rotate Prince and Jones throughout. Give Darby a break every now and then, depending on the package. Have special packages for them, what have you, and work it that way.
And I think,
and then just let them work it out. Huh?
I think that's a perfect breakdown. I think that's a good way it could go. I will say though, week one, I see Darby and Savage starting. And the only reason I say that is because we brought them in, we paid all this money, and they're veteran presence. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're going to start, but they're not going to take majority of the snaps. You know what I mean? They'll be on the field first.
Right.
I believe they take the first few drives, even the first few, maybe the first 2 drives, or the first drive, depending on how long and how much of the offense really showed in that first drive. I think basically what it is we're going to see those guys on the field first drive, our rookies are going to be watching very intently to every play. See what packages and what man does what on what motion and who has what speed that doesn't translate on film. Who has that speed? Because you're not going to throw them to the wolves. You're not going to throw them to the wolves. So I think week 1, snap number 1 on defense, Campbell, Darby, Savage, with Johnson and Cisco in the back. Okay. I think that's snap 1. That could change depending on preseason. It could. But honestly, I still personally, if it's me, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I just gave you. That's the set I'm running. Because, like I said, even if it's only for one drive, give them a chance to see the things that don't translate through a camera.
Right.
Because there are things like the speed. You can see on camera that a guy runs fast. But when they run by someone that you work with every day, and you know that man is also fast, and then you watch him blaze past that guy, now you know what you're dealing with.
Right. Exactly. Good points. Those are excellent points. So we'll see. And we have to take into context the different packages, dime, nickel packages. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. It really will. But I'm excited about it, actually. I really am. Yeah, I mean, you can't help but be.
I think at the same time, you also have to have this conversation about our wide receiver room. Who walks out suited up first snap number 1? We know Christian Kirk guaranteed. We know Gabe Davis guaranteed. Brian Thomas Jr. probably a lock.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's 3 already, right? You know.
Yeah.
True. Okay, but I will say this though. All right. Where does a Joshua Cephas come in, because he is lighting it up? And on that note, also would be, does Gabe Davis end up being one of those highly paid veteran backup contingency plans?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Well, I have to ask this then. Then how does someone like Savage become that as well? Because Savage is equal in production on defense as a Gabe Davis on offense. So where does Savage fall to becoming a highly paid contingency plan, and Gabe Davis doesn't under the likes of Joshua Cephas? Because we know Christian Kirk's not leaving the field. We know that.
Right.
And he shouldn't. Okay. Brian Thomas Jr., unless he absolutely just shits the bed, he's not leaving the field.
No.
He will be out there snap number 1, and he'll be out there as long as we're on the field. Okay. He might take a snap break or whatever, but other than that, he's going to be on the field. So then the only real question that would be left to kind of be up for maybe a grab is that Gabe Davis spot. Then you ask yourself this. Joshua Cephas is blowing shit away, and so is Parker Washington. Parker Washington was the best receiver at rookie camp. That was noted multiple times that Parker Washington was the best receiver there. Right. And I will have everyone know all of our receivers were in attendance. So then you think
another great dilemma to have. Wow.
It is a great dilemma, but then you think, okay, so Parker Washington is, in my opinion, he's just a younger Christian Kirk with a little bit better physicality on the football. To be completely honest with you, that's my complete breakdown of Parker Washington. He's a faster, younger, more physical Christian Kirk. I think that Parker Washington is unfortunately going to sit just long enough until Christian Kirk is done. He will come in rotational piece. He will be in special set packages, but he will not have a starting job, I don't believe, until Christian Kirk is no longer on the team. And I think that's because Joshua Cephas is also a go-up-and-get-it receiver too. You're not going to take a go-up-and-get-it receiver off the field in place of a short slot guy. You're not going to do it. And
so we are.
But,
We are.
Well, we do that.
The only reason I'm saying that is because you got to think about it this way. So now that we've got our receiving core built out, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 Christian Kirk type players on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
We got like 5 go up and get it guys now.
I mean like on the field at one time. I'm saying we're not going to put 2 Christian Kirks versus 2 go up and get it and a Christian Kirk. You know what I mean?
No, I see what you're saying there.
Okay, in a 3-by-1 set, Who are the receivers?
Obviously, Christian Kirk.
Okay.
Obviously, Brian Thomas Jr. You're not going to pick him in the first round. He's not touching the field, especially with the elite speed and just obvious skill set he has. He's
Right.
on the field. Okay.
Mhm.
So now the question is, where do you put a Parker Washington and a Joshua Cephas? Guys
Right.
that are both already at this point proven to be very resourceful and very good on the field.
Mhm.
Parker Washington especially is proven, but so is Gabe Davis. You would assume
Right.
Gabe Davis is highly paid. He's starting week 1, and I absolutely agree. Week 1, he's
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Week 1, he's out there. My question is does anybody else, or is it just me, see it as a possibility that he just becomes a very highly paid contingency plan? Because we did see his
What?
production in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He didn't take a game over. He had good games. He had solid stats, but he did not take a game over.
But he was never asked to either.
I don't know. I kind of think he was. I just don't think he could. I think he was because it was clear that Stephon Diggs was not capable of doing it last year.
Right. But oh man,
That became very evident that he couldn't do it last year. So who's left? And I think that's also why the Bills were completely okay with saying, fuck it, we're cleaning the whole fucking board. Because we've asked you, and we've asked you, and we got nothing from none of you. We don't care if you.
I would say I would feel a similar way if Gabe Davis wasn't only 24 years old. If he was like 28, 29, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But with him only being 24,
I
think
forget that he's so young.
He is really young, and that's one thing too. So I think the big thing for him is I don't think that necessarily Buffalo was so worried about that and him not being able to take over a game, because I really don't think they ever asked him to, personally, just from my observation of how they play.
I don't think so either.
I think the big thing with them is they are trying to, because they knew he was going to get good money on the market. We paid him a great contract. Honestly, we did. We gave him a good contract. But I think that they knew he was going to make a little more money on the market. But I also think Gabe Davis might not have wanted to come back. But
I don't think he did either.
And he wasn't worth a tag. That's the big thing. He wasn't worth a tag.
Nope.
I don't think he wanted to be back in Buffalo. I think he wanted to be closer to home, which we are, as close to home as he can get. I think a big thing with that too, though, is you don't let go of a 24-year-old receiver who has been your second leading touchdowns guy since he came to the team. Is consistently getting open whenever no one else is. I think that he's going to be our number 3 wide receiver. I think he may be the metaphorical number 1 to start the season. I think it'll be Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's going to be the number 1. But all I'm saying is, depending on how Brian Thomas Jr. is developing or certain packages, I think we will see Gabe Davis take over that role every once in a while. But I don't see Gabe Davis falling down this roster, mainly because the big thing too is, behind them, like Cephas would have to absolutely blow up he had to blow up all of Jacksonville with how good he's playing to
he was doing that
move past. So that's the big thing too, though, is we haven't seen him in pads in the NFL. It was training camp. It's basically the underwear Olympics part 2.
Right.
Gabe Davis, we've seen do it. If he stays healthy, he is a 700 to 850 yard receiver with 9 to 10 touchdowns in a Buffalo system where they were absolutely force feeding Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Right.
And Josh Allen running the ball, all the different stuff. I think it's a little bit different here. Trevor Lawrence has been quoted in an interview recently talking about the new look passing offense. They're going to be throwing a lot more. I just don't think that anyone on this roster is capable of moving past him to make him fall down the roster like that, personally. But
I think
at the same time,
Parker Washington could. I did want to say that before you move past that.
So, yeah, but he would be yes, but he'd be the slot. Of course, he could be out there in a 2 wide receiver set over him. But I think the fact that Gabe Davis is like 6'4", 6'5", even though it says he's only 6'3", he's pretty quick. I just don't see it. But
I do forget that he's so young. You bringing that point really does change the perspective a lot, though.
Yeah.
He was 24 when he signed his contract.
Young.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that young either.
Yeah. He won't be 25 until April of next year.
Oh wow! Okay.
Well, then you think then that changes the thing too, because then my question has to change. The structure for me now would be: do you see a world where he potentially becomes a trade piece? Because
now that's something I could see.
Yeah, now that because I forget that he's so young. So knowing that he's so young, in my mind, that automatically shifts from
So he's
contingency to trade piece because
okay. So he's 25. He turned 25 on April 1st. So he's still pretty young.
yeah, he's still pretty young. Okay, so for some reason I'm thinking he's pushing like 28. I don't know why. I just for some reason I was thinking he's pushing 28, 29. I don't know why I thought that. I blanked. My bad. But I will say though, him being younger changes the whole outlook on it. But I do have to say though, um, I watched enough tape on Joshua Cephas in pads before our camp to know that we've said this multiple times, and I will die on this hill for anyone that has any debate about it. He suffered from the school he went to. Okay. Yeah. That guy is insanely good.
You know, he is. Because, I watched, here in Texas, they show a lot of the games. So, I watched him. Yeah. He the boy is bad.
Right, and you don't say that about everybody.
I know. What I say is they're gonna bring him along slowly. He's gonna get his reps in every night, but they're gonna bring him in slowly.
I agree with that.
Yeah, they're gonna bring him along slowly. As far as Gabe Davis being a possible trade, not anytime soon.
It won't be this year. I don't think it'll be this year.
No. We had an out after year 2, so it'd probably be in year 3, contract year.
Yeah, I can see that, especially if Cephas, develops as we all believe he will, can. Yeah,
I will say actually, I don't think it would be year 3 contract year. I think if they did it, they'd take all this year and trade him after our second year. We wouldn't use the third year with him, and the reason I say that is because at that point he's pushing 27. If he's not already 27, no, he is 27 at that time. He'd be pushing 28 in the next following season. Teams are going to want to know whether he's still got it and can fit their scheme before they pay a receiver that's pushing 27, 28. Because while the Titans are completely delusional and seem to not give a shit about anything with common sense, most teams in the league still have common sense and see that paying a receiver that is edging closer and closer to 30 is more of a safety risk for your cap casualties, all right? So that being said, I think that if Joshua Cephas does well in the next 2 years with Gabe Davis, I think that's exactly how it's going to work. Gabe Davis is going to be the mentor role to Joshua Cephas. Right. I don't think we have anyone on the team that can specifically mentor Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. is a type of player that we don't have. We do not have anyone that plays with the skill set and speed that he has. So you can't. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to carve his own way, and I think he's fully capable. But so that being said, that leaves Gabe Davis to mentor who's behind him, Joshua Cephas.
Right.
Joshua Cephas plays well in the times he gets. He's going to have limited snaps. I think he'll be like an offensive Antonio Johnson. When he's on the field, he's going to shine. He's going to do very well. We're going to love to see him.
Right.
And then his time will come. And I think it's the same way I feel about Parker Washington. Every time Parker Washington's on the field, I fucking love him. Right. Dude is a stud, has hands for everything, and is physical. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
If things happen like they did last year where we start getting a lot of injuries in that, then you'll see them get more time. Especially, with those guys. But let's not, we're not even claiming that part.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think Gabe Davis makes, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Gabe Davis has too much dead cap. He has right over $20 million in dead cap next season. I don't think we're getting rid of him after next season. I think it would have to be year 3. Go ahead and say your point, because I'm going to bring something else up that's similar but different.
Well, I was going to say, with that being said about the receivers, what about our tight ends, Evan Ingram?
I don't even want to have a conversation with you.
Let me pull this. Let me actually pull mine out of that. Let me pull my rabbit out of the hat before we move on to tight ends.
I'm just
so real quick.
Hang the banner.
I think the question we're asking is the wrong question.
Okay.
I think the real question is, if Parker Washington, this is the real question, and you're going to see why in a second. If Parker Washington comes in the rotational role and plays well this year, or Christian Kirk gets hurt again, do we get rid of Christian Kirk?
Absolutely.
We only have one more season with him after this season. He's gonna be 28 after this year. If he has another season-ending injury, we got Parker Washington in the wings. do we dump him and try and get somebody younger that can develop in that role, or do we bring him back, potentially on an extension? Because we have to extend him after this year. We have to give him an extension. So
Now, this is going to sound crazy,
okay,
but I think it depends on what Trevor wants.
no,
I hate to say it.
It's not even crazy.
Him and Trevor have a very, very tight connection. You know
Yes,
what
they
I'm
do.
saying? But I can see where you would say, yes, okay. The last 2 seasons
absolutely.
have been injuries and his production goes down. Yes.
I have to say absolutely. Yeah. It's not even just a yes. It has to be absolutely. And I think at that point, it's not just smart for us, but it's smart for Trevor. And don't get me wrong, the relationship, untouchable. They've got a great rapport together. But clearly, him and Parker Washington are not fucking strangers. Parker Washington came in last minute to a fucking primetime game and caught 2 touchdowns back to back, and him and Trevor connected and almost entirely carried the rest of the game by themselves until Trevor's unfortunate exit. Okay? Him and Parker Washington are not strangers. And I'm not saying that he's anywhere near the relationship with Parker as he is with Christian, but I will say, if anything Parker has done is he has shown us, he may not be to the level of Christian Kirk yet, but he can get there.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Well, what if too? Yeah, think about it. What if Christian Kirk is Randall Cobb? What if he starts taking less money to come back and he's just that old vet receiver that Trevor Lawrence knows he can get a solid route out of and he can throw a pass to?
Look, if he's going to take less money, keep him.
Yeah, but the question was, if he gets hurt again, do we reach?
No. I said if Parker Washington plays well in the rotational role or Kirk gets hurt again.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm saying like
in the rotational role alone, then I think you're right. I would still bring Kirk back in rotational role. I think we get as much out of Kirk as we can for as long as he can give it, because Kirk is a proven. He is a safety valve, just like Evan Ingram. We'd be stupid to let him go before the tank's empty.
Yeah, Parker Washington turns 23 on March 21st next year. He's still super young.
Yeah, we got
plenty of time. Yep. And that's why I say we ride the Christian Kirk train until the wheels fucking fall off. But I thought the question was if he got injured.
No, I was saying
if he has another season-ending injury, unfortunately, I don't, unless he just takes like that much, we can't bring him back, in my opinion. Not because I don't love him. I do. I fucking love him. But 2 back-to-back season-ending injuries, that's pointing to the fact of your durability is not in the same place as it was, which is to be understood. You're not the same. You're not the same age as you were. Okay.
Well, that goes back to something that Shah Khan said in his little briefing. Also, is that we developing our own now. We're not doing this free agent thing anymore. We're developing our own.
He's been cutting big checks for too long.
Yeah,
and that's what we like.
That makes a big difference.
And that's why I think Parker Washington is the Christian Kirk replacement. I'm going to say it right now. For anybody that disagrees, don't even got to waste time hanging the banner. Miss me with that bullshit, because Parker Washington is the next Christian Kirk.
Right. Okay.
That to me is
okay.
Much money in the bank as a fucking check in my hand. Okay. He is the next Christian Kirk, barring some horrific injury. That
we're not claiming that. We're not claiming any of that. Yeah, we're not claiming any of that.
So, there you go. Question. This is completely out of left field.
Mm-hmm.
Completely out of left field. So we got 2 old timers, football old timers, two old timers at the center and at the right guard position on our offensive line. Now, none of us like or trust Luke Fortner. That is apparent. None of us like or trust Luke Fortner.
Correct.
The question is, because he has been getting reps, taking snaps, are doing, snapping the ball. Do we? All right, and stay with me on this one.
Okay, we're gonna try.
Do we train up Tugboat at center, or let him focus at right guard? Because Sheriff's gone after this year. I think Tugboat could be a homegrown talent that could turn into a really great, solid offensive lineman in this league. He's very smart when he plays. He's very quick. He's great down the field. He played at Appalachian State, so you know that boy can block into next week. Whenever he was playing again next to Anton, like he seemed like he was in more control than Anton was. He's giving signals. He was jumping between guys, giving the pass offs, and still getting to his position late. Do we try and grow him at center, or do we let him focus on guard to try and take the mantle whenever Brandon Sheriff leaves?
We do not want to fuck up another person like we were doing Walker Little. Leave him where he's at.
So he is confirmed to be taking snaps at center.
He is.
My question for you though is on this one, like specifically, if we can guarantee, let's say we have two options. We can guarantee he will be a Pro Bowl level center or right guard in his first year and be solid because he has some time to sit. He's going to be a solid player for us. Would you rather have him at center or would you rather have him at right guard? Which one do you think is more valuable?
I would put him at right guard.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would. I mean, we signed Mitch Morris for how many years?
2.
I think that was
we only have 2 years.
Yeah.
So we got 1 year out of Sheriff. We got 2 years out of Mitch Morris.
Thank God we only got 1 year out of that fucking.
Because Sheriff, he's doing and we need somebody steady right there. Yeah, I would say put Tugboat at what you call it. Yeah,
Me personally, I'm letting him stay right behind Mitch Morse. I want him to take the 2 years, soak everything he can from Mitch Morse. Next year, draft a right guard.
Who?
Honestly, that's up in the air. To be honest, I haven't studied next year's draft yet.
Well, I know that was a kind of
yeah. But I will say though, I'll say we saw what happened when we had the worst center in football.
Right.
It didn't matter how.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like Scherf, but he wasn't complete ass every game. Okay, it doesn't matter whether Scherf was having a great day or a bad day. The fucking offensive line still got folded, and it started right in the fucking center every fucking time.
Yeah.
And then everything went to shit around him. The center, Jason Kelce, the best center in my opinion of all time. All right,
he's up there.
He's up there. I mean, but I'll tell you why. And in my opinion, and that's a later thing. But mainly, I'll go ahead and give you a short version. Longevity with one franchise and consistent greatness, no matter who he was around.
Right.
That guy, if he's not the greatest, it'd be hard for me to accept another. Not to say that there's not greats right there with him. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. But either way, Jason Kelce, arguably at this point, I guess, the greatest of all time at his position. Jalen Hurts is in for a very rude awakening. Life is not as cozy without that fucking big fucking Mack truck of a fucking pro snapping you the ball. Life is not as cozy without that guy literally instantly becoming a brick wall as soon as the ball leaves his hand. Jason Kelce is the Chuck Norris of centers. Okay, Jason Kelce doesn't go backwards. You go backwards. Like, literally, you don't move Jason Kelce.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you can't argue with that right there. You're right.
And no matter what pieces moved around on the line due to injuries, okay? And that's another reason I like Jason Kelce. Dude was not always fucking hurt. He was almost always available for game day.
Okay.
He just all around consistent fucking GOAT. It's hard to put anyone above him just because of that. But anyway, no matter who was to his sides, due to injury or not, that offensive line was still always regarded as one of the best in the league, and it starts at the center.
That is true. That you can't argue with that.
It starts at the center. So at this point, if we're going to let Tugboat sit behind anybody, and it's because he can be guaranteed a Pro Bowler, like if in that scenario, okay, the only reason I would even suggest leaving him at guard is because I don't want to see another Walker Little where we moved him all over the place and he never got to completely strengthen in one. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. When you put it that way, that makes a whole lot of sense. It really
in both scenarios, if he's both guaranteed Pro Bowler status, like we're not going to fuck him up in development by moving him around, leave him behind Mitch Morse. We've got 2 years to put him behind a very good center in Mitch Morse. He is a very good center. He's not the greatest, but he's damn sure not bad. He's very good. Put him behind Mitch Morse, let him learn, and then take over from there. And if nothing else, hopefully we can hit another fucking home run like Anton. And we still have Javon Foster. We can't forget that.
That's what I was just thinking about. Yeah, I couldn't think of.
We still have Javon Foster. Yeah. Javon Foster could be over there training behind Scherf right now.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm comfortable with Ezra Cleveland being where he's at. I'm also, but I will say too, I prefer Javon Foster to kick Cam Robinson's big ass off of our fucking line. But at the same time, I'm honestly, Javon Foster could kick Cam Robinson or Brandon Scherf off of our line, and I would love it.
You know why I don't think
I think it'll be Scherf more than Cam Robinson right now.
Yeah, you know why I don't think Cam Robinson's going anywhere?
Why?
Because we only have $4.6 million dead cap if we cut him.
And well, you got to know the coaches.
I don't think we're going to cut him. I think it'd be a trade if we got rid of him.
No, yeah. I'm just saying though, like if we were planning on getting rid of him, like we could just get rid of him. We don't owe him any money. Like we owe that dude pennies. But of course we'd want to trade him. I don't really know that many teams will be looking to trade him unless their left tackle just like got hurt and could not play, you know. But I think he finishes the year this year, and they either extend him after the season, or they do Javon Foster, or depending on where we pick, there's a couple of tackles coming out that are pretty good this year.
You know what though? You know what that may all depend on though? How Scherf perform.
Yeah, I think Scherf is going to have a great year this year, only because I don't think he's going to be shackled. If he can stay, of course, if he doesn't get injured, right. He's not going to be shackled to Luke Fortner. Just like, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of times where Scherf looked like he didn't know what he was doing, but a lot of times that was Luke Fortner not knowing what he was doing or going the wrong way, stuff like that, stepping on feet. I think that is one thing. Is I think Scherf will actually be. I don't know that he's going to be Pro Bowl. I don't care about that. I think he'll be a solid right guard for us this year, a solid grade out. I don't think he's going to be all pro. I don't think he's going to be trash. I think he's going to be nice and solid for us for his last year in his contract. I don't think we extend him, but I think he's going to have a decent year this year if he can stay healthy, because he's not going to be shackled. He's going to be playing next to a guy that has been moving mountains for years and does not let people get hit. Has been keeping Josh Allen alive back there, you know.
Yeah, that's a fucking task because Josh Allen does it still.
Dude sucks. But you know, that's my biggest thing is I think Sheriff's gonna have a decent year this year. I think we're gonna see the Sheriff that we were expecting to see, or at least close to it, if he can stay healthy. Because that's the biggest thing for me.
All right. So we have things to watch starting with next week.
I think personally, I will say, if Scherf does come out and plays solid enough that he's not letting Trevor get nailed in the face every 5 minutes, I think we do extend him. I think it's a small extension, like a 1 or 2 year, but I think it's only just long enough. We draft a replacement that year. We will draft a replacement right then, and they can learn from him.
I think they'd have to be convinced that Tugboat is not the guy at that point, or whoever they've got behind him. They'd have to be completely convinced that whoever's behind him is not the guy to draft.
Well, no, I agree with that, but who then at that point, then we're just still stuck in the same position. Then I'm saying if we decided that Tugboat goes behind Mitch Morse, learns from Mitch.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think, and honestly, if he's already taken snaps at center, I would not be surprised if that's the outcome in the end. He stays behind Tugboat, develops back there, and then he just becomes our replacement, our next center. I think that's exactly what will happen is if Scherf has a solid year, honestly, I to be honest with you, even if Tugboat doesn't blow them away at center and he just does good enough to warrant more improvement, I still think they extend Scherf, draft a new center, and then let Tugboat go back to training behind Scherf.
All right, here's
way.
The question right now. Who's the backup center right now?
Luke Fortner.
Okay, no. I'm going to ask the question. No. I don't even think the organization even going with that one. No.
I think only because if the season started today, because I've played right guard, left tackle, right tackle. I've played every position on the line. You can convert someone to center, and I did this at 185 pounds in high school. Okay, you can convert someone to center, and they can be one of the best right guards, left tackles, right guards, left guard, right tackle, freaking fullback, running back, wide receiver. They can be the best player at that position at another place. Snapping the ball and then blocking is one of the hardest things to do in football.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the inability for him to understand that. I don't think that him coming off of an injury, taking snaps in rookie camp and in OTAs is enough for me to say I feel comfortable with him starting there day one, like right now.
No.
I think Fortner has played enough of the position. I know he's terrible.
No, he's not terrible. He's the worst.
He's the worst. I know he's the worst. He literally was the worst starting center last year out of anyone that started this position. I know that, but we know that he can get the ball to Trevor consistently without oversnap. Like, that's one thing I will say about Fortner. He does not undersnap the ball. He does not oversnap the ball. He's got a solid snap. Everything else, absolutely fucking terrible. Nothing else is good about it.
Dude, I would rather see a no rush fucking self snap than see Luke Fortner snap the fucking football again.
Oh no, I get that.
I would rather see Trevor Lawrence hold it and get 10 seconds to himself and snap it to himself.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying is
he's so
the question that was asked was who's the backup center?
Who's the backup center? Yeah.
And McDonald's fucking cashier. That's who our backup
as an organization, I don't think that you feel comfortable putting a guy right there that has only taken training or rookie mini camp and OTAs worth of snaps. I just don't think you're comfortable with that.
Well, why not? It can't get any fucking worse.
Well,
he was the worst.
Here's the thing. I was a great blocker in high school. Great blocker. Didn't let up a single sack in my year I played center. Didn't have any pressures. I snapped the ball over that motherfucker's head a couple of times.
Mm.
And that it doesn't matter how good I'm blocking. If I snap it over his head and it goes 5, 10, 15 yards behind him, it doesn't matter. And that's the thing is they got to recover. They got to get it. It doesn't matter how good I block. Nobody else is blocking. The whole line's not going to be perfect blocking.
Well,
and the edge rushers can just run around.
That reads the over snap, all the
exactly.
Everybody.
And that's the thing is, they know he can get the ball to him, and they feel like they can, like they did this year, they can shade people over to him and try and help him. But they know he can get the ball to Trevor every time, and that's the big thing. But again, preference, who I want, Cooper Hodges or anyone else that can grab a football and toss it between their legs. Newborn infant, Trevor Lawrence's daughter when she's born, put her out there.
I would think, honestly, at this point, the fact that they have Tugboat taking those snaps shows you just their unconfidence in his ability to continue to get the ball to Trevor. He can get the ball past Trevor. He's good at that. He's really fucking good at that. Okay? I think what would have to happen for Tugboat to not be our backup right now is he would have to get completely ran over in training camp in the next 2 weeks. He would have to completely get fucking bulldozed and stand no chance.
Again, that's something training camp's going to answer is who's lining up with the twos.
Exactly.
Who's lining up with the twos, who's lining up with the threes.
Right.
Yep. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think my starting line obviously would have to be Morse, Cleveland, Scherf, Robinson, Tom.
I agree with that.
I think it has to be. And Tugboat, I think, should be learning center. Because like you said, I know there are a couple good guards coming out next year. I'm not like studied on them, but I already read one of the draft class projections, or a couple of them, and they say there's a couple good guard prospects. So the end of the day, we let Scherf go out there. If Scherf performs, he performs. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We still draft a guard next year. Let Tugboat keep taking those snaps at center. Or at this point, in my personal opinion, I know we took the idea and said guaranteed Pro Bowl for both options, but unfortunately that's not a reality. It's possible, but it's not a guarantee. I still prefer to see, I guess, in real thoughts, I prefer to see Tugboat stay at guard, learn guard from Scherf. Next year, draft a center. The center can sit and learn behind Morse and then take over when he's gone. And then by that time, Tugboat has already been studying on his position. He's very solid there when he's come in, and he will do nothing but improve. And then when we run out on contracts on Morse and on Scherf's new extension that we will probably sign next year if he does well, we got 2 guys ready to step in. We don't have question marks.
Now that's a solid plan.
Because at this point, we know that Tugboat's good, but it's still a question mark if we threw him at center. That's still a question.
Yeah.
We don't want question marks. We want answers. Okay,
Right.
so for an answer standpoint, worst case scenario, this will come down to really what this should come down to is how Scherf plays. We did say that, but if Scherf plays bad, I think we just throw Tugboat in and he's going to have to develop on the fly. I mean, look at Anton Harrison. He stepped in day 1. He was on there day 1, and he's done nothing but improve since he got there.
Yeah.
We'll just have to make another solid pick. That's what we'll have to do. Okay. The preferred plan is, like I said, let them play this year. Honestly, I would literally sign a fucking McDonald's employee before I let Fortner snap the ball again. I'd probably sign the water boy to snap the ball over Luke Fortner. But either way, actually call James Robinson. Ask James Robinson what he's doing. I'd rather him snap the fucking ball.
Oh, wow.
Okay. He's terrible.
Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up, though. I think we've covered a good bit, and I think it's that's I was about to say. It's very apparent that there is no redeeming qualities for Trevor about Luke Fortner.
No.
You know
that could be one of those miss me with that bullshit.
Yeah.
I would so, goes by his bedside.
Yeah.
That's rough. But all right, boys. Thanks for coming on as always. I think we're gonna have a good one this week. Of course, OTAs coming, or not OTAs, good Lord, training camp coming up. We got another episode next week, of course. And anything else?
Yeah, y'all hit us in the comments. Let us know what y'all think about the show. Anything y'all want us to cover? Hey, let us know.
One stat for you guys, real quick. I just found this. Receiving touchdowns since 2020, including playoffs, and I have to say this does change my perspective a good bit.
Yeah,
Gabe Davis. 33. Yeah. He leads that stat.
Right.
I mean, props to him. So maybe we'll bring that back up next week and retouch on that. But one thing I want to say too: send the show to your friends. Keep liking and subscribing. We are at 99.
99.
We are at 99. I want everybody to see
99, baby. Come on, 99. Give us that 100.
Listen,
come on.
We're almost at triple digits, y'all. Almost triple digits. Like and subscribe, man. And thanks for the love. Because the one thing I will say, man, is I've seen people try to do tons and tons of YouTube channels. Everyone wants to be a YouTube star. That wasn't our goal. We just love talking Jaguars football. But I will tell you, the support we've gotten from you guys is crazy because in the short time we've been doing this, which is what, 4 months now, 5 months?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're on episode 18, so we're at 4.5 months. We're doing this 4.5 months, and we're almost at triple digit subs. That doesn't happen. Really, that doesn't usually happen. So thank you guys. And not only for the subs, but for the comments and the likes that we get too. You guys aren't just watching and scrolling. You're actually giving feedback sometimes, and I appreciate that.
Exactly. Yes. We appreciate it very much.
Yes,
but fuck
sir.
all of the other channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the Texans. Fuck you twice. We love you, Curtis. Curtis, you're the shit, but unfortunately you work for a shit team. Your team sucks dick, and so does anyone who loves them.
All right, y'all. For y'all that don't know,
yeah.
Trevor Slim Shady Downs does not like the Texans.
Fuck all.
Really? Right, no clue.
Eric, Mr. Thought, do not like the Titty Titans.
Let me hear about it. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't like them. Can't stand them. Okay. Titans. Okay. All right. And Isaiah, I don't know.
Isaiah don't like the Titans.
I don't like the Titans. Fuck the Titans.
Okay, so I guess the only safe team around here is the Colts.
That's because y'all bitches and ain't nobody.
Yeah, I mean, what am I gonna hate on them for?
Right.
How they go?
For having a glass quarterback and making the games against y'all an easy W. Yeah, fuck you for that.
How am I gonna get so upset that they make it so easy?
Yeah.
Oh, and in case Jeff, you're watching, I just want you to know your quarterback's still a bitch-made quarterback.
Yeah.
He might as well be made out of church window panes.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Jeff, your little homeboy on there, what's his name? Art? Tell him he can miss me with that bullshit talking about bad about my boy Trevor too. I'm just saying.
Me?
No, not you. Trevor
Oh.
Lawrence, the quarterback.
Well, he can definitely miss us with that bullshit.
Yeah,
Talking shit about me, hey,
he got to miss me with the bullshit on that one. All right.
you know
Tell
what?
him, hey.
As a matter of fact,
Huh.
next week we've got a guest coming on from the Titans show. But one
Okay.
thing I'm going to set up, I'm going to work on it this week. The other guy, his name's Mac, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Well, he's going to come on here and he's going to answer for that. He's going to be a part of it, missing with that bullshit.
All right. All right. So
All
be
right.
ready.
Be ready. Yeah, better be.
Hey,
right.
do your homework because you're going to have to show me how you can stand over there and say that shit with a glass bitch-made boy of a quarterback. I don't know how the fuck you can say anything.
Me either.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Got a second-year rookie talking shit. That's crazy.
All right, I'm ending it. Yup.
All right.
There we go. All right, boys.